Hey guys, Mo Native Aquatics here, and look at that cloudy water. You guys already know what that means. We are back. We got Big Chungus the second, and he is already stirring up all kinds of strife in the aquarium. Now, I am going to try to be really steady with the camera. I was way too shaky in the last video, and you guys called me out on it. So I will try to be smooth. So I told you guys I was going to go try to collect some more hog suckers. I was only able to get one aquarium-sized hog sucker, and he is barely aquarium-sized. He's probably 10.5 inches long, maybe 10 inches long. I try to keep 11 inches as my limit because the aquarium walls are 22 inches wide, and so I try to keep them under half the widest part of the aquarium. That's just kind of my rule. Anyways, in addition to the hog sucker, I caught, check this out. All right, I am not sure whether he is a red horse suckerfish or I think they call them white suckerfish. You guys who are better at identifying fish might be able to tell me. I'm not familiar enough with them to really be able to identify them. I do know it's a suckerfish. I'm not taking a fish that I can't identify at all because there's a lot of ethics involved with that, and it can potentially be illegal. But anyways, I've searched for suckerfish that were aquarium sized for such a long time. I have never been successful. This guy's maybe 7 to 8 inches long, so he's still several inches below my length limit for the aquarium, which is awesome. And I've watched him kind of take little scoops of gravel and kind of munch on it and blow it out past his gills, kind of the same way that the hog sucker does. He just, he doesn't do it as aggressively. So, I'm using brine shrimp, all right, overfeeding, or I think saturation feeding is what they call it. That's the strategy to feed the suckerfish, get everybody so stinking fat that they just stop eating, and then there's maybe enough food left over for the suckerfish. That's the goal. That's what I'm working on. This has been kind of an experiment of my channel, is can I get suckerfish to live? It was supposed to be hog suckers because those were the only ones I was ever able to catch. And recently I've been able to get two normal red horse suckerfish, white suckerfish, whatever you want to call them. I've got another one that's about 2 inches long. He's in my quarantine tank right now. He won't be able to go in here because he'd get eaten by the bass. The other thing that I was able to catch that you guys might be very, very interested in is this guy right here. I have never even seen, let alone hooked into one of these guys. They call them, at least this species, what I understand, they are they call them the 1,000 cast, or there's a term that now I'm butchering it, but essentially the idea is that they are, if you can get them to bite on a hook and line, then good luck to you because they are so skittish around being caught. So maybe you guys have caught these in the past or know somebody. I doubt you are fishing for them because very few people do fish for these, but this is a grass pickerel, and there's apparently chain pickerel, which can get to like almost around 3 feet long, and then the grass pickerel is only ever supposed to get around 10 to 12 inches long. This guy's about 10 inches long dead on, so he should be pretty well full grown. Hopefully his mouth is not so big that, I mean, he's got teeth. I don't know if you can see it, but he's got some pretty ugly looking teeth. So hopefully he doesn't eat anything else in the aquarium. The only thing I'm really worried about is the horny head chub that are way back there in the corner. The little smallest guy that's resting on the bottom right now, he might be small enough that this pickerel could attack him. Oh, there's a really nice shot of him. He stays up high in the water column, and so there's kind of shadows. You can't see him that well unless he gets low. I'm going to have to get some feeder shiners from the creek and put them in there, which I know if you guys have been following my saga with the ick invasion that I had that killed my hog suckers, my last batch of hog suckers, I have to be very careful introducing any feeder fish to the aquarium, but he's going to have to eat something. I've read up online that you can get him on frozen food pretty quickly, because once he learns to attack everything you drop into the tank, you just start dropping, like, you know, I like to use peeled frozen shrimp chunks, and hopefully I can get him eating on that just like the smallies do that are where they're being shy today. But yeah, that was my goal. And I recorded a little bit of video. I didn't have my GoPro. I was just using my phone, so there's just little bits and pieces, but I kind of vlogged a little bit of my collecting trip. I'll put that together in kind of a video for you guys. I just wanted to update you on how successful I was. The only goal really was to get hog suckers and stone rollers. I got several large stone rollers that I'm currently have them in quarantine right now. I'm hoping I can get them acclimated, and in another month or so, I'm hoping to get them in to join. The other guy is hiding back there. There's the only other stone roller. Oh, get out of the way. These dang bluegill. Anyways, they're back there somewhere. There he is. Oh, now he's gone again. Anyways, I was just trying to balance out the population of fish. I wanted a few more stone roller and then some hog suckers. I've got this guy, and I've kind of just decided that, at least for now, I'm just going to call that good. I'm going to focus on getting him well fed, keeping him fed, along with this the sucker fish. I'm curious on how well, you know, I kind of got the hog suckers figured out in terms of how to feed them. This guy's a whole nother animal, so hoping to figure something out with him in terms of how to keep him fed well. And then, yeah, the pickerel, it was a complete surprise. I'm going to see what comes with him. Again, I've never caught or kept him in an aquarium or pond. This will be my first run with him, but he's too stinking cool not to put. I was going to leave him in my big stock tank out in the garage and eventually maybe put him in a pond. And then I was like, you know, I have never seen or caught a guy like this. Even if he like, what fish would I sacrifice in this tank? I would sacrifice pretty much everything except for the sucker fish. I would literally sacrifice every single fish. These are all pretty easily replaceable for keeping a pickerel. So I was like, you know what, go in there. And that's when I thought he would just continue to grow and get to be like 3 feet. But I then read up on him a little bit more and realized that the grass pickerels don't get that big. So yeah, pretty exciting. Really excited to have Big Chungus II. He's already eating like crazy. Got him on some frozen bloodworms and some brine shrimp. So I've been using ICX this time. I am treating it every other day. I know the directions call for daily, but I am at like, after a water change, I get down to like 60 degrees because it's winter time. And then after a few days, it'll stabilize to about 72 to 73 degrees in the aquarium. And with that, I think the ick life cycle, if it's present at all, is going to be so slow that it makes more sense to do about 10 to 14 days of every other day. So I'm going to be around 5 to 7 doses. I've currently done 2 doses since I put these guys in. In fact, I need to do, today is my skip day. So tomorrow I'm going to put another dose of ICX. And again, if you're just new to the channel, just a little while ago, I had 3 beautiful hog suckers, aquarium-sized hog suckers, which is these guys right here. And they got killed by ick. I mean, it came on so stinking fast, scared the living daylights out of me, and killed them instantly. I mean, within 4 to 5 days, they were all dead. So now I am not taking any chances. I've got the ICX already running in these aquariums, even though I have no signs of ick at all in the aquarium. The other thing is I talked about the praziquantel because there was a theory about all of the suckerfish having intestinal parasites that made it to where they just wouldn't eat enough, and that's why everyone has them starved to death in their aquariums. I'm starting to lean farther away from that being a reality. I think that instead it's just an issue of getting food delivered to the fish. And so saturation feeding is my new theory, and I'm going to go with it until I bankrupt myself with frozen food. But so far, I mean, those other ones before the ick hit, I had them they were so fat, just based on kind of saturation feeding. I had dosed some praziquantel, but I never really saw any signs of intestinal parasites, so I'm skeptical that these suckerfish really have that. But anyways, I will, that's kind of the update for today. Thanks for watching. Thanks for there's a lot of support over losing. It's never fun to share that you've lost fish, and it makes you feel like a failure for not being able to take care of them, but I'm not going to let that get me down, and we're doing this for science. So the cloudy water is a great thing. I'll never have crystal clear water again because this boy is going to be turning over the substrate all day long. But all right, I'll see you guys in the next one where I kind of talk you through my collecting methods out there in the creek. So appreciate it, guys. Happy New Year.